Hey everyone. All right, so last lesson we talked about how to make a beat using the drum machine designer. Today we're going to be talking about how to make our own bass line. So before we get into our bass line, let's get a simple drum beat that we're going to make our bass line over. So we'll add a new track, make drums and beats. Now we got our patterns, right? We're going to be using a drum skeleton, right? So what's our basic foundation? What we're going to do is we're going to put our kick on 1. And remember these numbers. 1, the first group of every 4 is our number. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're going to do to get started with that beat, we start off with a kick on 1 and then our snare on 3. So here's 1, here's 2, right? Here's 3. Then we can do whatever we want with those hi-hats, put them however many often we want. I'm just putting them randomly, put in a few extra kicks, maybe an extra snare or 2. All right, got my beat. Come over here, click the top right, loop it. Let's say it's a little too slow. I adjust my tempo. I want to make it, let's say 110. All right, so I got my simple drum beat. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click add a new track. I want to make a bass line. But what a bass line is it's a group of notes that you play in an order that kind of, with the drums, sets the foundation for your beat. So for me, I'm going to do it on a piano to get started. So in the future, the more and more you do this program, we'll help get you a legit MIDI keyboard that you can have at your house. In these early days, as you're trying things out, we can use a keyboard. We can actually use our actual computer keyboard to replicate a piano. So when I hit something on my computer keyboard, let's say I type in the letter N, that's going to hit a note, which we'll learn about what those musical notes are later, but that's an A note, right? But don't worry about it. So when you hit N, that's a letter. That's a key that you're going to play. There's H, right? So mess around, try out things on your keyboard and hear some of those notes. But what we're going to do today is we're going to play a very, very simple bass line over top that drum beat. So our bass line, it's going to be the note, it's going to be the keys. You're going to type in N. You're going to type in, after that, you're going to go to H. And then after H, you're going to go to B. And then after B, you're going to go to G. All right, so those are that's not the name of the musical notes you're playing. The musical notes you're playing are A flat, G flat. Don't worry, we'll learn that another time. But what you need to worry about for making this beat is the fact that you're using your computer keys, and the computer keys that you're typing are N, and then you're going to count to 4. So you're going to go N, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to go to H, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to go to B, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to go to G, 2, 3, 4. All right? So what's nice is you're able to play melodic notes, right? Like musical notes on your keyboard. And we're going to put those over top of a drum beat. So you're making your own bass line now. So I'm going to click record, and you're going to hear how I do it. All right, so we made a simple little bass line there. So let's take a listen to it. I played a note and then I counted to 4, and I went to the next note. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So if we wanted to loop that, we don't want to loop it just the way it is, because if we do, there's a bunch of dead air, right? So it won't sound good. Because take a look, right? There's just dead air at the end. So the way I can get rid of that dead air is when you bring your mouse, it says loop. You don't want that. If you bring your mouse down a little lower, it's going to say adjust ends. It looks like this. What I can do is I can click that and then drag it to the left. And remember how I said beats are normally good in groups of 4? So you want to drag it to where you see the song generally end. That's a group of 4, which here we're going to drag it to the 5. Because what that is, that's 4 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So now you've made your own drum beat and you've made a bass line. And now that you cleaned up your bass line, right, you got rid of the dead air and you cut it out, you can come to this loop and click and drag, and now it's going to keep going with the beat. Right, and hear how that beat keeps going now? All right, so that is how to make a simple bass line and how to put that bass line over top of your drum beat. All right, and also how to edit it, and then loop it. Thank you, everybody. Great job today.